Hey, this feeling is long overdue for this group. But all you guys keep doing is working. All you guys keep doing is going back to work, putting your head down, and deciding what can I do to not only help this team grow, but to just make damn sure that I'm trying to uplift the guy next to me, make his job easier. What can I do to help bring along everything we want to accomplish? And we've had to do that without the results that, quite honestly, a lot of us expect. We've had to take our medicine and just keep going back to work. And that's what I want to compliment you guys on. All right? You have found a way to eliminate the noise, block it all out, and make it about your brothers. And I told you Monday that this would be the greatest test of our way of doing things, where we are a family, where culture matters, and we chase victories every single week, not for ourselves, but for each other. All right, and that's all you guys have done. Now, what I want to talk about right now is today, because this wasn't easy. All right, we did a lot of things to make it hard on ourselves, but right about that time, where you could have said what? You could have said, here we go again. Defense, you found a way to dug deep, and you make a huge play, game-changing play. Harry, 2-2. DJ Wanham looking like a running back, sloshing back in the end zone. All right, and then offensively, and we get the perfect execution for a JJ touchdown when we had to have it. Complimentary football all the way around. It's back to work on Monday. Back to work on Monday with a championship standard like we've been talking about from the jump. Regardless of the result, we just go back to work. We get to host a home game next week back at US Bank. And it's time we put on the show we've been waiting for our fans at home. And you guys are primed and ready to do it when we have a great week of prep and hit that ground running. All right, it's all out in front of us. Just keep trusting in us. Keep trusting in yourselves. The love in this locker room will supersede anything out there. Ignore it. I love this team. And away we go.
Family right here. That's what it's all about.
He's into the end zone. He caught it. Are you kidding me with that catch, JJ?
Well, if that victory locker room speech didn't get you hyped up enough, hopefully this winning edition of Vikings Weekly will. Welcome inside TCO Studios. I'm Tatum. This is Gabe. And the Vikings are coming off a thrilling 21-13 win over the Panthers.
Yeah, the sights and sounds were illustrious in Carolina this past weekend, seeing the Vikings finally get their first win of the season. But you got to move on. And right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are coming in town. And a lot of us want to know, how do the Vikings beat the Chiefs? Well, they got to stay tuned to the show.
That's right. Coming up on the show, we've got a sit-down with Hitman coming off a career game. Kevin O'Connell gets in the film room with Pete Bursich. NFL personality Kay Adams gives her insight on the state of the Vikings. Plus, we mic'd up C.J. Ham for his 100th NFL game.
All right, well, let's take you back down I-85 South to Carolina, where the Vikings finally got their first win. It's going to be a little different this time. For this one, we got some sights and sounds in this week's edition of Field Access.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I ain't even got much to say, bro. Look at outside. Look at outside, man. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be here today, man.
All day, every play, from the jump. Bring that damn energy and bring that physicality. That's what this game's going to come down to. Who will hit somebody in the mouth? Let's go.
Sir.
Backers on three. 1, 2, 3. Backers.
We got to make that play. Got to make that play. It's not that. We're going to turn this. We've been dry lately. I promise you. We've been dry. It's going to come. I need it. It's right here today.
There you go. Every time. Every time. From the ground to the man. From the ground to the man.
We're going to knock this run out early, and we're going to pass rush all game. Let's have an introduction today. What do you say, huh?
We count on you guys to do your job at a highest level today, all right? Just do your job and do it the best you can, and that's good enough, right?
Let's go, man. All right? Let's go. Get going, bro. I got you. I see you. I got you. I'm going to get it going. All right. I'm going to get it going. Go. Hey, we got to start fast. We got to start fast. I don't care what you got to do. Take that. The party started at 1 o'clock. Don't be late. We ready to go. Let's go. Trust each other, lean on each other, and let's go get a dub. We're not leaving until we get the dub. Straight up and down. Let's go. 1-0-3. 1, 2, 3. Let's start with y'all. Let's do it. Let's be physical right away. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Out of with the timeout. 3rd and 1. Cousins play action. Rolls out to the right. Pumps. Fires. Caught. Touchdown. Justin Jefferson. It is the 2nd touchdown this season for JJ. 10th thrown by Cousins.
Let's go. Come on, all day.
Make sure we attack him. Be the hammer. Be the hammer, not the nail. Attack the line of scrimmage.
Bryce Young facing a blitzing Harrison Smith, and the ball came out, and it's picked up by DJ Wonnum, and is loose inside the 10. Touchdown!
So many cool and behind-the-scenes moments on this episode of Field Access that you can check out on Vikings.com. Hopefully this game this weekend, Gabe, will be just as exciting.
Well, when you have Harrison Smith on your roster, that makes every game exciting. And just looking back at his past week against the Carolina Panthers, he had 14 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. The first ever player to do that in one game. Putting up those video game numbers like that, I just want to remind you guys at home that Harrison Smith turns 35 in less than 4 months. This week, he sat down with my colleague Tatum Everett, where they discussed a little bit of how he's able to play at such a high level this late in his career.
This feeling is long overdue for this group. You could have said, here we go again. Defense, you found a way to dug deep, and you make a huge play.
And he is devoured. The Vikings defense comes through once again in the red zone.
Game-changing play. Harry, 2-2.
Harry the Hitman!
Long overdue is how Kevin O'Connell described Sunday's win. How was the feeling when you reported back to TCOPC right here this week?
You know, it's obviously good to get a win. We're still sitting at 1-3, so a lot of work to do. And you can't get too caught up in like, oh, we could have been this or we could have been that. You know, we're 1-3, but I think we're trending in the right direction.
Yeah, when you get that feeling back, how do you continue that trend?
Just keep stacking the good things that we've been doing, and there was a ton of good things in the games that we lost as well.
Oh, what a strike. Oh, Justin Jefferson on the run. Jefferson will not be caught. It's a touchdown.
You know, there's no panic, but there's definitely still urgency.
You said in your post-game interview that the first 3 weeks you just didn't feel like you made a big difference, and then here's the Carolina game where you were the difference, a huge game changer. What changed for you on Sunday?
Oh, I mean, I don't want to say a whole lot. Making the plays that kind of present themselves. Sometimes when you play safety, like you'll go through some games where it's pretty quiet, and then there's games where you're kind of in all the action, and that's just how it is. You always have to be ready.
Very true. Now at 34 years old, a 6-time Pro Bowler, and you're playing a game you love while continuing to have career bests. I mean, you just had 14 tackles, 3 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 3 quarterback hits, and a forced fumble. With a stat line like that, there have been words tossed around, post-game vintage performance. I mean, when you hear something like that, what do you think?
It's cool because if you can use the word vintage, like that means you've been doing it for a long time. At the same time, like, part of me takes it as a slight because I feel like I've been pretty good for a while. So like the vintage isn't even needed. But it's good to remind people.
Coming up after the break, we go to the film room with head coach Kevin O'Connell. Also, Kay Adams joins the show to preview the Vikings-Chiefs matchup. Plus, did someone say hot mic? That's right, CJ Ham. He was mic'd up for Sunday's win, which was also his 100th game as a Viking. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back with more on Vikings Weekly. Welcome back to Vikings Weekly. My name is Gabe Henderson. I'm alongside Tatum Everett, and the Vikings, they are riding high following their first win of the season this past Sunday against the Carolina Panthers. But this is no easy task this week. The defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, they're in town. But Tatum, I'm going to give it to you straight right now. This is a game that I think the Vikings could win. Prime time, at home, why not?
Yes. Why not? And the Chiefs have never played inside US Bank Stadium. Patrick Mahomes never faced the Vikings in his illustrious NFL career. Our Vikings radio analyst Pete Bursich dove into the film room with head coach Kevin O'Connell to preview Sunday's showdown.
Welcome back to Vikings Film Room with head coach Kevin O'Connell. Coach O'Connell, congratulations on the victory. But winning on the road has to have a little sweetness to it, doesn't it?
It really does. And there's, Pete, you know this, there's nothing better than an NFL victory locker room, especially on the road when you circumstances of our team, and we just really wanted to just continue to chase improvement, do some of the little things a little bit better, and find a way to win a football game and see where that can take us from a momentum standpoint. But nothing beats going in that locker room, throwing out some game balls, hugging the guys, seeing the smiles on their faces. Now we go back to work and try to make it all happen again.
That's right. On the road, me against the world mentality. But you have to play great defense to win on the road. So we got a couple plays you'd like to show the folks at home. Let's start.
I just definitely wanted to hit a couple plays from the game defense. We thought Coach Flo and the guys had a great plan, and really one which I know our fans know this. We wanted Harrison Smith to be a big part of the plan. Just taking a look at this first play, this was in kind of that end of game sequence. We kind of forced them into a long yardage situation by a previous sack where we get them on the ground. They throw the football away, and then we end up here with Harrison Smith like he was a lot of the day coming off the edge. So just first and foremost, I wanted to show that because he was not free off the edge right there. You clearly see him, there's a left tackle, potentially trying to block him, but how about the move? And if we re-rack it, just see this thing from a standpoint of, there we are. We've got the look. Everybody's up there. Are we bringing an all-out pressure or not? But just watch the way Harrison is able to dip that shoulder, bend like a, Dwight Freeney on the edge, rip around and get that sack. And this is about as much celebration as you're going to see out of Harrison. But I think after 3 sacks and 100 tackles, it felt like on the day, that was definitely worthwhile for him to celebrate in that moment. But here's where I give credit to Flo and the guys. So really the illusion, we've got 7 guys up on the line of scrimmage right there, but we're not going to bring them all. We're going to end up only bringing 4 right here. But because of what some of the things we had shown on tape the first few weeks, we can show the illusion of all-out pressure and then systematically bring whoever we want of these 7 right here. We've got kind of that rush group in the game. Marcus Davenport, having him back was huge. We'll take a look at him in a second. But just take a look at how the protection distributes right here, and we end up with just enough. Really, when you watch that left guard and that left tackle right there, just watch just the subtle little indecision as they have to protect from potentially allowing these 3 guys to go before they would ever be able to handle Harrison off the edge. Well, what we do is we end up dropping out a couple of those interiors. They try to panic to get back out, and they're just 1 click slow, and there's Harrison bending the edge, making the play right there. Huge play to put the game away.
And what's great is how Danielle Hunter doesn't come underneath right away. He comes right at the tackle, and the tackles, you can see he's looking at him and then goes, uh-oh, I got to get outside.
And there's a reason why 99's right there, because we want that tackle and guard thinking we got to worry about a guy with 5 sacks who's going to be a problem. Speaking of being a problem, Marcus Davenport was a problem all day, as was DJ Wanham. Huge touchdown. We didn't have the time in the segment to show his entire fumble return for a touchdown, but I'm sure our fans remember that one. But I really want to highlight Marcus because, we brought him here to be a disruption, to pair him with DJ and Danielle. We get him in these rush groups. You see right here, we essentially have 4 outside backers in the game with Pat Jones. This is kind of a rush grouping. We feel like we can win some individual matchups. But first and foremost, we've got Marcus and DJ highlighted right here. But there's Danielle Hunter over there. And why is that important? Because you're essentially going to see them sliding their right side of the line with the center included that way. And when that happens, that's going to essentially isolate 2 one-on-ones on the backside with DJ and Marcus. But in this case, Marcus had kind of won on some bull rushes. He'd won on some speed rushes. Now you're going to see him winning with the spin move inside, working one-on-one on the guard. And when that happens, I studied Bryce a lot coming out. He's a hard guy to get to the ground. That's why DJ finishing the rush right here. And what you're also going to see is 99 on this one, eventually winning versus the double team to show up and help finish this. I talked to the team the night before the game. I told them a scenario where 0, 98, and 99 were finishing at the quarterback. That's exactly what happened right here. Huge play in the game. Great to have Marcus back.
No escape route for the quarterback.
No.
He had nowhere to go.
That was
contain,
awesome. Yet apply pressure. It's not always easy to do.
Make sure to check out this week's full edition of Vikings Film Room right now on Vikings.com. It is week number 5. The Kansas City Chiefs are in town. Need I say more? The energy is jam-packed, and I'm so excited to see what US Bank Stadium is going to look like. You know who else is? Kay Adams. She sat down with Tatum Everett to discuss what this week's matchup means to both teams.
Well, we're lucky to be joined by one of the biggest voices in the NFL, Kay Adams from the Up and Adams show on FanDuel TV. Kay, thank you so much for coming on for this interview this afternoon.
I mean, we talked about this last week, and I said, I hope they win, and you did. So let's go Vikings. Lots of fun things to talk about leading up to a big week against the Chiefs, huh?
I know, a team that you know pretty well. So I'm excited to dive into that matchup. And really, it's a clash of the Netflix quarterbacks. You've got Kirk Cousins in the 3 losses. He threw for over 340 yards in each of those games. However, in this win, only 139 yards with 2 interceptions. So you've got this kind of juxtaposition as we head into this matchup. What do you expect to see from a Kirk versus Mahomes showdown?
You know, when you say just 2 interceptions, we gotta change the narrative on that. We need to have no interceptions, right?
That's
no
fair.
Turnovers. The 2 can't be just 2. That's the problem with this Vikings team that I do believe with the talent, and that includes your Netflix quarterback, Kirk Cousins, they can beat anybody if they're not beating themselves. That's really what it can come down to. In any given day, they've got it. And it comes down to these mistakes. That's what I don't want to see, right? The Vikings can't start the game with a pick 6 like they did yesterday. They can't expect to beat Kansas City if they fumble 3 times like they did against Philly. I love this Carolina game. There was a brutal mistake on the first couple minutes of action there from Kirk, but then it was minimized. We didn't give them so many chances to score, but they did score on the turnovers that they got. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm looking forward to, some of that juju playing out for Patrick Mahomes once in a while. There's something going on with this Chiefs squad, okay? Like Mahomes is throwing for a career low 251.5 yards per game so far. Kansas City, they put up 17 points in that first quarter up against the Jets, but then just 6 the rest of the game. So there's something going on there that I believe that can fall into a Kirk Cousins favor when it comes to, being able to get off of the field and getting Mahomes off the field and being able to capitalize on some of those mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the Jets were just inches away from beating the Chiefs the other day. The Lions opened up with a win over the reigning Super Bowl champions. This Vikings defense will definitely be tested, but how do you think Brian Flores' defense can take advantage of maybe this Chiefs offense who's still trying to figure themselves out right now?
Now, they did the problem I'm seeing with Kansas City is they're struggling to find a rhythm offensively yet so far. They haven't really done that. They did find their run game a little bit. We saw Isaiah Pacheco, of course, the Saints running back, which Taylor Swift was so excited about. Who knew? 158 total yards and a touchdown for him. But Zach Wilson got after this defense, right? And the Chiefs have the league's 5th-ranked defense overall. But if you're looking at, how Brian Flores can do it, I don't know. I think you have to sort of play into the fact that they haven't been able to find their rhythm. And then I think defensively, Kansas City, it does have a couple of interesting players. I mean, Justin Jefferson is still doing his thing, of course, leading the league in receiving yards, on pace to break Calvin Johnson's record. We love to see, but the flip side of it is, Chris Jones is a stud, but they've got this first-rounder Trent McDuffie on the Chiefs. He's emerging as one of the top corners in the league, so you love to see that. And it'll be interesting to see what happens when he and Justin Jefferson are matched up against each other. So it doesn't totally answer your question, but I would play to the fact that, the interception when it comes your way. That's what I would say to Brian Flores' squad. Do not, because those opportunities will be available in this matchup in Week 5.
Well, at this point, I feel like Kay Adams has the secret sauce on how we should beat the Chiefs on Sunday.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. It was really great catching up with her. However, one of my favorite stories, 7 years ago, a Division II Augustana grad tried out for the Vikings. And if you fast forward to now, that's CJ Ham. He just played in his 100th game with his home state team. Check out this mic'd up as we documented CJ's milestone.
Oh, man, I ain't even got much to say, bro. Look at outside. Look at outside, man. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be here today, man. Love y'all boys. Let's go ball out. RB is on 3. 1, 2, 3. RB. Ah! Oh. What up, what up, what up? Just because you was good to me a couple weeks ago, I'm hot today. Uh-oh. I'm hot. I'm hot. Yes. What a day to be alive, baby. Yes, sir. Marcus, I'm excited to watch you spin, baby. Excited to watch you go, baby. Go do your thing. Love you, brother. Do your thing, man. Do your thing. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yes, sir. Woo! Ah! Come on, oh.
Cousins play action, rolls out to the right, pumps, fires, caught, touchdown!
Here we go! Good job, Bo. Hey, it started with us. It started with us. Whole squad ready. Here we go, D. Oh, let's get in. That would be nice.
A blitzing Harrison Smith, and the ball came out.
You called it, baby.
Oh, come on. And it's picked up by DJ Wanham. Inside.
Come on, come on!
CJ becomes only the 4th undrafted offensive player for the Vikings to hit that 100-game mark. And hopefully he can tally more as he just signed his 2nd extension here in Minnesota. Happy to have him.
Happy to have him. He's getting his money's worth. So are Vikings fans when they get their money's worth against the Kansas City Chiefs at US Bank Stadium. 3:25 kickoff. But before kickoff, there's a country music concert going on. Who is it?
Any fans of Chris Jansen out there?
I feel like I see a lot of people screaming right there.
Right.
But I hope to see all of you screaming Sunday at 3:25 as the Vikings take on the Chiefs. This is going to be a lot of fun. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy while cheering on the purple. For Tatum, Everett, and the entire Vikings Entertainment Network, my name is Gabe Henderson. We'll see you next week.